this is Yoshistr from Yoshistr Productions. We're going to show you how to use the command file with Yoshistr Deluxe Keylogger. First of all, as you can see, we have the program open. I have already entered all the information, and I have created a keylogger called commanddemo.exe. As you can see, the FTP server, we have already uploaded the command file. It's called command.txt. And we're going to test it with menu test command.html, and it says the command file was successfully loaded and the command file is currently empty. We can check that in the browser. Just open that up. As you can see, it's empty here. We can view the page source. There's nothing in the on the document. So what we want to do now is, first of all, run the program, the keylogger, and now that's running, what we can do now is create the command file. First off, I'm going to show you a simple command, run command equals. This command basically runs a command directly from the command prompt in Windows. And you can use pretty much any command as you would in the command prompt for the remote computer. In this case, we'll just use netstat, which will show us the statistics of the network, as well as the IP address and the ports connected to. So we'll just go ahead and save that. And what we want to do now is upload that and overwrite the original command file. Do that here, overwrite it. Okay. In the logs folder where our logs are being uploaded to, we can see now we have the logs here. And basically what happens is the command file is ran every 60 seconds, and what occurs is it's read and the command is ran on the remote computer, and then we should receive an output in a file called win_updatecom.txt on the FTP server. In this case, we should just receive the output from the command prompt. I'll show you that here. If you run netstat, you get this output. And this output should be recorded into a text file and uploaded. We'll get that within 60 seconds or so. There it is. Okay, so we have the file here, win_updatecom. We'll go ahead and download that to the desktop so we can take a look at that. Here it is. This is the output received from that command that we ran. Okay, we can go ahead and close this. That has worked, and we're going to go on to the next command. Of course, you can change run command. There's a lot of different commands you can use. For example, net administrator and some password, which will change the administrator password. Okay, so the next command I want to go over with you is the ftpu equals. This is basically a command that will upload a file from the remote computer onto the FTP server. In this case, what we'll do is we'll upload this file, images.jpg. And how we'll do that is we'll use the annotation desktop preceded by the percentage sign, as well as followed by a percentage sign. This is a variable, and it will automatically denote the desktop. We'll need a backslash as well as the name of the file, images.jpg. And what you can do is you'll have a file called file listing uploaded eventually after the keylogger is run, and it will list all the files on the remote computer. And you can use that file to browse for the file you want and the location, and you can enter that here. In this case, we're not using a absolute path, we're using a relative path, which is pretty much the same thing except it's a shortcut right here. Okay, so we'll save that, and let's upload to the and overwrite the original command file. Within 60 seconds, the keylogger on the remote computer will notice the new command and upload the file that we wanted. In the meantime, of course, it's uploading the logs as always, and the images. Let me just wait 60 seconds while we're waiting, we can go over the next command. The next command I want to go over is the ftp udir, which basically uploads the directory from the remote computer. Again, you can use the shortcuts such as desktop with the percentage sign. You can also use my pictures, my documents, and so on and so forth. All these shortcuts are shown in the help file, which I'll post a link to on the thread. You can also use the absolute path, such as C, Windows, and what this will do is find all the files within the directory Windows and upload them into our logs folder, and it will also create a folder in and of itself. Okay. In this example, we'll simply use desktop. Go ahead and save that. And we don't want to upload it yet until we've received the output from the last command. There it is, images.jpg. It's been uploaded. We can now go ahead and browse to it, rather than downloading it in this case. So there we go, that's the image that I used, and it's been uploaded. Okay, so now we have saved this file. Let's upload it and overwrite the original command file so we can see what occurs. Okay, just take a look at it. There it is. And you should always note view page source within the command file. It should be the exact same thing as the what's shown on the browser. I understand that some web hosts change the content of the file, especially if you use a HTML file instead of a text file. In this case, we're using a text file exactly for them. Of course, you use a HTML file. I'll show you that. Command.html, I've already created it. I'll upload that. And we can load it right here. It's an empty file. If you view the page source, it should also be empty. But like I said, some web hosts, especially the free ones, they'll modify the contents. Okay, within 60 seconds, the new command should execute, and we should get a new directory. There it is, uploads desktop. And this is basically all the files within the desktop on the remote computer. This does not upload subdirectories within that directory. It only uploads the files within that directory. As you can see, there's a bunch of other directories in there. If you want the files within those directories, you need to give the path for those directories. The reason for this is because usually there's a lot of subdirectories within the directory you want the files from, and if you upload all those files, it will crash the computer. So we've avoided that by using this this method. Okay, as you can see, we have all the files from the remote desktop, which in this case is the same computer being run. Okay, and what we'll do now is go on to the next command. What I'm doing here is only using one command within the file for testing purposes. Of course, you can go ahead and enter another command and so on and so forth in the same file, as long as there's one command on each line. You want to make sure you're using the right command, otherwise you might encounter problems. Okay, the next command I want to go over is ftpd equals, and this is basically downloads a file onto the remote computer. So what you want to do is, if you want to send a file to them without them knowing it, this doesn't execute the file, it only sends it to them, and it will be there on their computer. What I want to do in this case is I want to send this, let's see, I want to send the images file, .jpg, over to their C hard drive. So it's not here right now, I'm going to send over. And how we'll do that is we'll write ftpd equals C / and images.jpg. If you notice that the name of the file is called images.jpg, the same exact name must appear, and the same file must appear within the logs folder on the FTP server. What the program then does is notes the name of the file, and it locates it in the logs folder and then downloads it onto the remote computer. If the name's not the same, you're going to get an error message on WinUpdateCom, and that's what will occur. Here we're getting more WinUpdateCom files. This is the output of what occurred. It'll tell us if there's an error, it'll tell us in there. If it was successful, it will let us know. So